Athletes ready!
Well, it is Megan on the quad for Kunoichi, evading first and starting round by the mountain. Off she sets as Ruby tries to chase her down, but a nice move over the sisters. Ruby goes underneath. Space around the front line, and Megan's able to waste a bit of time there and set off around the loading bay and under the mountain this time around. But Ruby is getting closer. She is getting closer. But that pace from Megan gets the first points on the board in the final. What a start.
Yeah, and Ruby just kind of followed behind her the entire time. You want to make sure you control the center.
1-0, Kunoichi. Athletes ready!
Up steps Dara, who owns the quad down in Atlanta. She knows how this quad works and she makes use of it. There's so much about strategic knowledge, right, and exploiting all this scaffolding to your advantage.
Oh yeah, she definitely didn't hesitate going around the cube, and I think that that's what did it for her. She knew exactly where Megan was going.
1-0, Kunoichi. Athletes ready!
Now Dara starting on the sisters. She did this in the semi-finals and it managed to work. But it does not work this time around because Jess gets her under the mountain.
It's hard when you do that same strange start twice because people really look at those things, especially when they're different than what's really happening, and kind of take note of that.
Caitlin into the action. The score 1-0 Kunoichi. Jess looking to double that score as she sets off across the quad. And spins around by the ridge, but there's a dive through low. It does not make contact. And Jess can live to fight another few seconds. And she's going to make that same run across the quad, and Caitlin's not going to get there. And she's not even there to make the dive through the ridge this time. She can go through the loading bay, but she's not there quick enough. And Jess does double the lead. Kunoichi 2, Victoria's Secret 0.
Yeah, I think if she would have just committed a little bit harder to that dive, she would have had it. She just slowed down just the smallest bit before going through the ridge, and that's what cost her that tag.
In comes Brittany. Jess moving towards the chaser, but now decides that running away is a better option. Now she cuts across through the quad, over that open space, but Brittany's not there to take advantage, and it's round the front line and to the ridge. If this turns into a race across the quad, and it does, and there's a dive, but they're losing their footing, and Jess might get up and still get the point here, because Brittany, the dive cannot have been far away. There's applause from my co-commentators. What a chase.
It's so difficult to regain your footing in this short amount of time.
It's also hard because when you're evading for a second time, double evasions, you're exhausted, so your footing gets a little bit more challenging to keep.
3-0, Kunoichi. Athletes ready!
It is back-to-back evasions for Jess Chan. Could she get the hat-trick in the final? A historic final at that. Dara is looking to hunt her down, and she does do very, very well. You can tell that all that quad time that she has down in Atlanta, it makes it so, it's like playing in your own back garden.
Yeah, looking at the sisters, her feet were so sure. She knew exactly where she was going, and she didn't hesitate.
Victoria's Secret evading. 3-0, Kunoichi. Athletes ready!
Well, Dara is determined to make this sister start work. She has mixed it up by going all the way across the court and built up speed, but now she stops and goes back the other way. But Amy, the Australian representative, gets the tag.
Amy definitely waited for exactly the right timing at the lazy boy. She waited for her body to turn just the slightest bit, and Amy knew exactly where she was going and jumped at that chance.
Athletes ready!
Amy did pick up a couple of evasions in the semi-finals. Can she add to that tally here in the final as Caitlin gets sent round the wrong way, the lazy boy, but she's into the tilted cube and in the end can't figure out how to get through. And Amy is off again, under the ridge, over to the front line. She decides to make a dash for it, and she doesn't quite get tagged by Caitlin. There must have been fractions in it.
Yeah. And Amy definitely knew where her chaser was that whole time.
0, Kunoichi. Athletes ready!
Well, Amy has picked up points. Jess has picked up points. And we've seen a point for Megan. Kunoichi are running away with this, and Amy is running away from Johanna, but not running away quickly enough as she makes the tag and brings this run to an end. It is still 4-0 Kunoichi though.
It's really valuable valuable even if you don't get the tag. If you run your opponent the entire time, they're tired, so the likelihood of getting a double evasion goes down.
Victoria's Secret evading 4-0 Kunoichi. Athletes ready!
In comes Sana, based in London in the UK, in this very international flavoured team of Kunoichis. Johanna standing on top of the mountain and then hops over to the other side as Sana threatens to come and join her there. She comes through the tilted cube but can't make the tag, and Johanna is off around that front line in the open space. She did not keep her eye on Sana though, and then just saw her grabbing at her knees.
It was great that she went up on the mountain because people don't necessarily expect that. So when she was up on the mountain, it kind of threw Sana off a little bit, but Sana regained her footing.
Match point, Kunoichi. Athletes ready!
Kunoichi match point, and Sana Iwao can seal it. If she evades here, it will be a 5-0 battering of Victoria's Secret. There's a little stumble there from Brittany, but she is up and in the chase again. But she is not close enough. She goes through those bars by the ridge, but Sana has already left the premises and over the sisters, and that will do it. Sana Iwao picks up another evasion. It is a 5-0 demolition. Girls, Kunoichi, the worthy champions. How important has this tournament been for the whole of Chase Tag, but specifically for the girls who want to play it and are playing it now?
It's always about representation. The more that you see women playing sports, the more that you see that there's an opportunity for you as well.
Round of applause to our 2022 World